borrowing this tree here. Gonna go over here for a bit of a film. Hate skinnies. Don't you hate skinnies, eh? Just pause it now. Yeah. Warm it up for the dance. Got to do some stretches for my filming. I mean editing. Interview. That's the one. Yep. Just got to touch your toes to start with. You can't reach them. It doesn't really matter. You just got to go as far as you can. And then do some push-ups. And we're warm, so we can start the edit now. Okay, I'm Jayden Richo, and this is my CY113. Before I was Christian, I didn't really have a plan in life, and I was just a regular kid that was hanging with the wrong crowds and couldn't wait till I was old enough to go to parties and try all this stuff. But then I met my best friend Josh Pashley, and he hated alcohol and parties and brought me to youth. Before I got into them parties, and without realizing then, God had just saved me from even starting to do all that bad stuff. Because that's where my friends are now, doing all that stuff. And God put Josh in my life and saved me before I did all of those. Because God saw that I had something else and me, and that I could be... I stuffed it up. No, it doesn't matter.
Keep going.
Yeah. God saw that there was something else in me, and that I could be such a better person than to do that to myself. How amazing is our God? And then I went to youth and sort of didn't care for it much, and just went there for fun. And then come this year, something had changed. I just had the urge to want to be as happy as all the people there. I went up on stage and said the prayer so that Jesus could come into my life. Since then, I've grown as a Christian and have turned my life around. I always cop it from my friends at school for being a Christian. And then one day at church, when City was here, my CY113 happened, and I wrote a poem sort of thing about it. Here it is. Here I am, sitting here at church, listening to Pastor Aaron. He talks about my problems that are happening to me now. My heart beats faster, and straight after he says, bow your heads and think about nothing else for a minute. Then it hits me. I think of all the problems and how friends tease me for trying to be a better person. God gives me vision of who I'm going to be, the bad that I could become. My friends are dragging me down and pushing me to my fears. Then God shows me his light and outbursts of tears. I cry in my hands as everyone stands and sings in my ear. All I hear is all glorious. And God showing me pictures in my head. At this moment, God is grabbing my hand, breathing on my life and raining on my heart, and washing away sin. And the tears still pour. I run outside because I can't handle the pain. Then I realize that it's not pain, it's happiness. And I get outside, and my best mates run out to grab me and tell me it's okay. And Jesus is rescuing me. God is amazing. I had no intentions of crying today at church, but God poured out the tears from nowhere. That is God telling me I need to make the decision, and that He is there waiting for me to love Him and live for Him. God was knocking on my door today with His arms wide open and said, I am here for you now, it's your decision. After that day, I've just felt that God has been there for me. He introduced me to some amazing people that have helped me through it all. The biggest thing that God has helped me with is losing weight. I've always been the bigger kid at school that gets teased, and I've never had the motivation to lose weight. And I was so self-conscious about it for all my life, and ever since I've become a Christian, I've had the motivation to lose weight. I know it wasn't a coincidence when I started praying about it, and it seems so much easier to do. I've now lost 15 kilos and to my goal weight, and close to my goal weight. So God can do amazing things, and I find it just awesome that you can pray for things, and I always thought that was just a load, whatever. But man, it happens. If you have faith in your prayers, God will give it to you. But I'd like to say a special thanks to the guys that have helped me through this, which are Josh, Sam, Tyson, Mark, James, and Ben. A lot of others have also helped, and I thank you also, and mainly I thank God. So that's my 113. Catch us later.